So you will actually lose people. And I think what happened with me was when I was losing these friends, I now started feeling guilty. And what I did wrong was I was now trying to rekindle these friendships. And I was like, okay, we had good times. These were my friends. And you're trying to rekindle. This is a mistake. This is a mistake. Let the ship sink. Let it sink. Hey, you try keeping things afloat.
Most of us are young women, and let's say our audiences are also young people, both men and women as well. What self-care practices can we use in trying to ensure that we pursue our creativity and also ensure that we just follow up our passions?
Yeah. Yes. So first is to know your needs, like what is important to you, what is not, so that you cannot just be going with the flow. Like if your friend says, oh, I want to go to this workshop, and it's not your thing, you should not say, oh, let's just go to a workshop. It's taking away from your time if you wanted to do another thing. So have your needs. Though sometimes you can obviously tag along with your friend, but when you are keeping your priorities straight too, remember. So about your creativity, an advice I can give is don't wait for people. You know, for example, you want to go to that paint and sip and your friends don't want to go, or it's not their thing, but it's your thing. Just pack your bags and go. You'll make friends there. Trust me. You'll make friends there. Just go. I'm saying now just go, but a while ago it was hard for me.
It's always hard. I feel like it's hard the first time.
Yeah, it's really hard. For example, me, I really like to try restaurants, but I find it so hard to just sit in a meeting alone. But then I say, no, just go. There's a painting place I really wanted to go down there, but my friends didn't want to go, and just so many things came up. The shop is now closed, and I never went. So see such an example. Don't wait for anybody. And then also follow your creative passions. They may seem stupid to other people, or you may be, okay, maybe people will find this cringe, or oh, it's so embarrassing. Don't care about that. Just do it. If your thing is like what we're doing now, do your thing. Do your thing. Don't care about what other people think, and just pursue it relentlessly.
Yeah, true. And I think so many people are there at the point of, I can't go to a restaurant to sit alone and eat alone. I can't go do this thing alone. Maybe you can just tell us how that journey was from that you who couldn't go to a restaurant alone. I'm sorry that maybe that place was closed. How you maneuvered from that place to where you are right now, where you are comfortable in your own skin.
So first of all, you shouldn't also just throw yourself into the deep end, because it's really hard to just do that. So just don't say, okay, I'm going, and you just go, because you may have a bad experience and it may now put you steps back. So just take yourself slowly. Today you can say, okay, I'll just go to the ice cream parlor alone, and you just go alone. Next time you can say, okay, I'll wear my headphones the whole time. I won't even listen to anyone. But do it. And then it gets better slowly by slowly. And then if you have a support system, sometimes you don't, which I mean, it's sad, but you can get one soon when you stop people pleasing. If you have a support system, it's good, because they can like encourage you, like, yeah, just try, just go, you can tell me the experience. Or you can even be texting with someone as you're there, telling them, okay, I'm scared. If you have a support system, they can be, don't worry, just, it will be okay. Or you can try and force yourself to make friends. Like for me, I like talking, but when I'm put in a situation like with so many people, it's so hard to make friends. So when you get to the restaurant, just force yourself, you know, today I'll speak to the waiter, like I'll try and engage a conversation. It can help you to like break the ice or something.
Wow.
That's really nice. So another aspect is, while reflecting on your experiences, how do you recognize when you need to implement stronger boundaries? So let's say you've already understood your needs and you've already understood these are the things that I don't condone, right? But it gets to a point where you feel like, it's like these boundaries are becoming grayish, they're not black and white again, When do you recognize that there's actually a need now to strengthen this line?
So I would say, first of all, you need to have regular check-ins with yourself, because if you don't, you will realize that when things are actually so bad now, you're overwhelmed, you're stressed, you're anxious, and you don't even know why. You can't even pinpoint, because you don't check in with yourself, you don't check in with your environments regularly, so you don't recognize when things are going sideways. So have check-ins with yourself. Just literally talk to yourself. At the end of the day, just sit down and be like, okay. Or when something has happened, check in with yourself. How am I feeling about this? And verbalize what you're feeling. Don't just say you feel bad. Say you feel sad, you feel angry, you feel guilty. Use your words, literally. That's the only way you can move on from this. And then when you recognize that, okay, I'm feeling this way, you can combat it. But if you don't do check-ins and suddenly things are gray, suddenly you're overwhelmed, suddenly you're stressed, don't now say, okay, I'm moving 10 steps backwards, my boundaries are collapsing. No, just be very kind with yourself, be very compassionate with yourself, and say, okay, things are going downwards, let me go back to my drawing board. What was I doing when things were working? I was doing this. Okay, let me go back, let me revise. Yeah.
Well, and I like that part of check-in, because I have, let me say, like I struggle so much with that.
Yeah.
First of all, because of time. Because I felt like when maybe I'm supposed to be checking in with myself, maybe I could be doing something else that maybe could help me in terms of, no, not myself, but maybe to make money or something with friendships, but I was not like intentionally checking in with myself. And I realized that over time, it actually built some resentment within myself.
Wow.
So but now when I started now meditating, like maybe just walking in nature, things like that, over time I came to realize, even if I'm overwhelmed, even if things are not going okay around me, I felt more easy with myself. So I think the self-checking is very important.
Very important. Can I add another point? Yes. I would like to say that when you prioritize other things, eventually you will realize that if you're not okay with yourself, all other things will collapse. It doesn't matter. So if you prioritize others and you leave yourself aside, those other things that you are busy prioritizing now, they will all collapse and you will be back to the drawing board. Some people say that you cannot be like in a romantic relationship or any relationship if you don't love yourself. It's true and also not true, because you can't love others if you can't love yourself, but also you can be with friends who are very compassionate and loving towards you, that it actually heals you. So you have to be very, very intentional with the people you choose, because that's what will determine your growth.
Oh, wow. I agree.
Be intentional, please. It still brings us to that story of having a specific environment that you really want to be, being intentional with the people you're associating with when it comes to your goals, and also just general life struggles. Or so another thing is, we really face challenges when creating these boundaries. We've seen some of them may be guilt or trying to really please people. So what are some of the challenges, other than the guilt, that you've probably faced in this journey of self-care and also setting boundaries that you've encountered, and how have you actually overcome them?
A challenge I can say is you will actually lose friends you will lose people for real, like along this path. Like it's not even like a joke. You will.
Be ready.
Yeah, unless your friends are also on this self-care journey and they're also trying to be, you know. But sometimes they can also be, but you're just not compatible people. So that's also an aspect you should look into.
Wow.
So you will actually lose people. And I think what happened with me was when I was losing these friends, I now started feeling guilty. And what I did wrong was I was now trying to rekindle these friendships. And I was like, okay, we had good times. This was my friend. And you're trying to rekindle. This is a mistake. This is a mistake. Let the ship sink. Let it sink. Hey, you try keeping things afloat. Yeah.
You will sink.
Yeah, you will sink. While you're trying to keep everyone afloat, you will sink. Let it sink. Just let it sink. Because to be honest, you can't be friends with everyone, and some things and some people are not for you, and you're also not for them. It's not like they are bad or you are bad. You're just not for each other, and that's very okay. And if you have no room in your life for the people who are meant to be in your life, then how will they ever come? Because your life is filled with people who are not meant to be there.
I feel like slapping for you.
Yeah.
I'm just like writing thoughts in my mind, like check.
Yeah, because your life is filled with people who are not even supposed to be there. So the people who are meant for you will take so much longer to find you because there is literally no room in your life for anybody. So you need to, the same way if you're in your room and you want to have it looking nice, you declutter it and try to have space for it. That's what you need to do with your life. Declutter your life literally and do it so fiercely. Don't be scared that you're gonna lose friends. It's okay. You'll make more friends.
If they were meant to be there, they will be there.
In the storm of life.
Wow, please declutter. Some friendships are seasonal. You don't have to carry everyone to the next level.
Yeah, but don't also just say, okay, I'm on my self-care journey and you just throw away your friends. No.
You have to find balance. You have to find balance. And actually, what I was thinking on the same aspect, we have talked about boundaries, set boundaries, but how do we really set boundaries?
Yeah. Okay, I can give an example. For example, if your very close friend is inviting you out to, let's say, a workshop, don't just say, sorry, I can't make it. Because now it just looks like you don't want to go. But try and communicate. Say, thank you, hi, thank you for inviting me. It looks like a really nice opportunity. However, right now, I don't think I have the space to attend this workshop. Maybe we can go to another one, or maybe later, or maybe another time. But sometimes don't even say they may, because they may hold you to it. So just first recognize that this person is actually inviting you. So say thank you for the invitation, but be assertive that right now you can't. Don't say that maybe I will try. No, you can't. Yeah. And then also I want to say that it's not like you become this perfect self-care person. You will struggle even with that communication, even with that assertiveness. You will struggle, but just be compassionate with yourself on the journey.
Just on the same spirit of boundaries, I think setting boundaries with families is a huge challenge with so many people. Because these are people that you have grown up with, you have been in the same environment, you have done literally everything together, and you have grown up to be definitely maybe in different environments, and now you feel like you have evolved to be a different person, and now you need to go back and tell them maybe what we have been doing before is no longer working for me. So how do we be able to set these boundaries in a proper way and still maintain family and not feel guilty? Because with family you don't need, because they are always there, and you need to keep that blood and close relationship. So how can we just do it in a proper way and for them to be able to take it nicely? I feel like I'm speaking so nicely because
you're speaking very nicely, but it's okay. The case will not be very nice. So boundaries with family is actually really hard, and I can say I'm still even struggling with that, because for example with parents it's really hard because there's a huge generational difference. So when you're trying to even communicate, the communication that you're even doing it empathetically will, that you're even putting it nicely, will still not be seen as nice. So like you cannot dilute, you cannot dilute until there's nothing. You can't. At some point they will still feel bad. At some point you just can't keep on adding water because you will not achieve what you want to achieve. So as much as it's harsh, parents are also just like any other relationship. Even your siblings are just like any other relationship. And if you dwindle yourself down so much, along the line you will be so having so bad feelings, so resentful about them, that you will even want to cut them off straight away because you're so overwhelmed. So you need to set it right the first time. Communicate with them. I cannot say how to communicate it nicely without guilt, because I think it's impossible. You will feel the guilt, but just remind yourself why you're doing this and try to foster the relationship. I know that for some families it's not that easy, because maybe the challenges are far more than you can imagine. So for some families it may be okay to even distance yourself for a while, for you to be okay, because there are some families that are very toxic and very harsh, and you need to also recognize this. But if you don't have a really harsh family situation, then it's a really different ball game at all the same, because some families you even need to cut people off for a while. So it's a really, I don't know how to say, it's a really big topic, maybe. Yeah.
Wow. And I think it just reminded me, there are some situations we've been having probably with a few, like you see someone just comments and they're like, they really need help because they're in the family and they're really trying to set this boundary, maybe with a parent, and it's really draining them a lot.
Yeah.
But you know, for family, they're really close ties.
Yeah.
They feel like completely cutting off. You know, the way you can literally cut off a friend, or a friend can cut you off, like it can be either side, you see. But for the family, as much as you're saying you can distance them for a while, you can't completely cut them off. How would such a person deal with it? But because the damage is too much for them, and they, especially in Africa, like cutting off your family is just it's a little bit unheard of. You know, how would they deal with such a situation?
Depending on the toxicity, cutting off is unheard of, but possible. But possible, because you didn't come to this life to die. Yeah, okay, you'll die eventually, but you can't die because of family. You can't kill yourself because of your father, your mother, your sister. You have to know when to say no, because some toxicity is too much even to yourself. You find that it's affecting your life, it's affecting your academics, your school, you know. And also seeking professional help. You can do this when, for example, the kind of toxicity you're facing at home is not one you can just sit down and start chatting about it with friends. You can decide to seek professional help, because you can do it as a family, but African parents and professional mental health, it's like this. Water and oil, but do it for yourself, you know. Do it for yourself. And if you see like maybe your parents or your siblings, they are kind of understanding, don't also just pour your boundaries. Today you have carried your bag of boundaries and you are ready to pour it. Give them in a dose. That's if you're making progress with them. Just try and give it in a dose, and try to accept when you're actually seeing some change with them, not just being so quick to be like, okay, I'm cutting them off. Also give people time to process what's going on and what you have decided, but don't compromise yourself, your well-being, for anybody. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, when you're lying in your bed at night, you're crying, you're sad, you're stressed, you're overwhelmed, you're anxious, you are alone. You're not with your mother, you're not with your father, you're not with your friend, you're alone. So you have to care for yourself, like fiercely, with fire. You have to, in capital letters.
Wow. Well, I just love the conversations and the insights you've been giving us about like just how to stay assertive and maintaining these boundaries. I feel like they really contribute to we being authentic as well, because you have a clear path of your life, how it's going, right? And just a last message to probably our viewers on someone who is probably in this journey to self-care or boundary setting. What would be a message to them? Yeah.
I would like to tell everyone to love themselves fiercely, as much as, even more than you love your partner, friends, family, because the relationship you have with yourself is the most important relationship in your life, because you are with you till the end of your life. You may lose your friends, you may lose your partner, you may lose your parents, but you will not lose yourself until you're in that grave. So it's the most important relationship you have with yourself, and it also enables you to set your limits. You know, I can take this, but I can't take this. If you don't know your needs, if you've never set boundaries before, if you've never prioritized your self-care, you won't know your limits. You won't know that this is too much for me. It will just happen that one day you're like, okay, I don't deserve this. Yeah, you don't, so get up and put in the work. It's hard, but put in the work every day to love yourself. Loving yourself is not just looking at yourself in the mirror and be like, oh, I'm so pretty. Okay, that's an aspect, because if you don't see yourself as beautiful, that's an aspect, but it goes way deeper than that. It goes as deep as, what are you willing to accept from people? Not from strangers in the street. Because if a homeless person throws something at you, you'll be like, I cannot accept this. Yeah, because it's not someone you know, you don't have an emotional connection. What are the limits? What are you willing to accept from people that you actually love? People that actually love you. What are you willing to accept? Because people who love you, they will hurt you. They will, that's for sure. But what are you willing to accept? You need to be able to set that boundary clearly, plain, black and white. Don't have it zigzag. No.
What a way to end the show.
Yeah.
And then maybe just to add on to that, take it easy on yourself as well. Be easy with yourself, because self-care is a journey and you have to learn yourself, and learning is a process, not just a one-day thing. So take it easy with yourself. Be willing to reach out for help. In case, reach out to Esther. She can continue the conversations about self-care, and we are super grateful that you came here and just to pour your wisdom out to the people. And so maybe you can tell us, where can people reach you?
You can reach me on Instagram at monde.kwamboka. Yeah, maybe it's gonna be put down somewhere. Yeah, so you can reach out to me there. Remember to love yourself and be compassionate with yourself. You are also a person. Yes, remember to be kind to yourself.
Wow. And also, she has a YouTube channel as well. Yeah. Plug yourself. This is the time.
Yes. At Esther Monde. Yeah.
Check out her YouTube channel as well. You also talk about, there is definitely a matter of lifestyle and self-care in there. So you can definitely catch her on YouTube as well. Let's also continue this conversation in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share with family and friends.
So until next time, bye-bye.